Welcome to the No Clue Podcast. I'm one of your hosts. I'm Tyler.
I'm Mike.
And we're here. I think every series is now at 3 games, except for the Rockets and Warriors game. We're recording this on Saturday before that game. Game 3 has started. Every other series has at least 3 games.
Where do you want to start? Very eventful playoffs.
Let's start with the 3-0. Let's start with the 3-0s. The Cavs, we're recording this during the Grizzlies and Thunder game. The Cavs have just obliterated the Heat in game 3. So let's start with the Cavs and the Heat. Are you surprised at all?
No. None.
Yeah, me either. I will say one thing. I knew Tyler Hero wasn't like a good defender, but I didn't know he was like a horrible defender until this series. I knew there was like no calling him a good defender by any means, but in this series, there hasn't been a single player that the Cavs have put in the game that didn't attack Tyler Hero like he wasn't an all-star.
This is the first time I've seen him really get picked on.
Yes.
I really
Jerome gave him 30.
Man. And it was all on him, too. It was all, every time it's Tyler Hero, that means I'm clearing out, forget the offense.
Yes, yeah.
And Cleveland normally, most of the season, they really didn't play like that.
No, they didn't. They really weren't very, attack the weak man. It's not really their kind of game because they have such an inside-out game. They don't really do a whole lot of one-on-one stuff. But in this series, they were able to because of his shortcomings, Tyler Hero's shortcomings.
I mean, this game 3 was a perfect embodiment of why I bought into Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
Their defense is really good.
It is.
And they're probably one of the few playoff teams where, looking at them on paper, they don't really have a phenomenal, defensive roster.
No, they don't.
But they defend as a unit really well. And it just shows from the coaching, from the guys that have been there for a while, the chemistry's so good.
Yeah.
And the commentators today were freaking out about, man, Miami just can't get in the paint.
Mm-hmm.
Minutes would go by, half a quarter would go by, and Miami could not get the ball in the paint.
Yep.
Even Bam Adebayo was just taking jumpers, looking like Brook Lopez out there.
Yeah.
And that was really, I'm like, man, Miami has no chance whatsoever.
Yeah, it's you mentioned their team defense. They maximize Garland and Mitchell by their speed and help side is amazing. They'll just let someone drive. Somebody, Mobley or Allen will pick them up, and the way Garland and Mitchell can hustle to the corners and the weak side is amazing. Listeners, when you watch the Cavs next time, watch when they do let someone go by them. Watch how Garland and Mitchell fly around. I mean, they won this game without Garland, but when Garland is there, they're flying around help side and weak side so well. It makes the passes difficult, like a Bucks kind of offense where people drive and kick out to the corners. You really can't do that on this Cavs team. One, because the pass is going to be difficult because Mobley and Allen are so long and they just get into the passing lanes. And 2, because Mitchell and Garland can get to the corners quicker than any other backcourt in the playoffs right now.
And throughout the season, guys came in and out of the lineup. They they obviously made the trade, so their lineup, their rotation changed, and the defense was there the whole time.
Yep.
This team had a slight losing streak at the end of the season, but it was just because of closing games poorly.
Yeah.
So to me, it was no doubt that they were going to handle Miami.
Yeah. Yep. I thought Miami would be a little more scrappy, but
that's another thing Cleveland kind of developed all season. They can match that now.
Yeah. Yeah, they really can play to any kind of game, which makes them pretty dangerous.
Yeah.
Let's go over to the OKC and Memphis. Regardless of what happens today, while we're recording, it doesn't really matter. This series is pretty much a wrap. It's just extra television time right now, extra commercial time for Wingstop. So, are you surprised at all here?
No.
No. Yeah.
I want to be. I thought Memphis would put up a fight,
Mm-hmm.
but this was. You watched that first game,
Yeah.
and it felt like JV varsity.
It was worse, but yeah.
Like I've played as a JV when I was a kid. I've played against varsity and put up more of a fight than what the Grizzlies did in game 1.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I honestly, like, the only thing I can really take away from OKC so far is their front court is really fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's kind of flown under the radar because Chet was out about half the season, I would say.
Yeah.
Hartenstein tends to, like, miss time for random stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But when the two of them are playing full minutes,
Yeah.
this team is, like, as dominant defensively as the Cavs without a problem.
Yep.
And they're, again, same with Cleveland. Like, the chemistry here is so good. Memphis doesn't have a chance.
Yeah.
It's Ja versus 5 guys. It's Desmond Bane versus 5 guys. Meanwhile, OKC's always running good sets. They're always playing together, always playing off each other.
Yep.
Like, you're watching that first game, like, this series is done.
Yeah. Yeah. It sucks that in game 3 probably was their best chance, and then they lose Ja, and the largest swing in the history of NBA playoffs, 33-point swing to win the game.
And it was similar, no layups. You can't get in the paint.
Yeah. Yeah. Memphis is a team that cannot play a lot of different ways. So when they play a team like OKC who can basically target your weaknesses, it's going to be bad every time.
You can't make a playoff run without an offensive identity.
Mm-hmm.
You just can't. Like, maybe there was if they were healthier for the season, they would have been a better seed.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't have any structure to, like, beat any of the teams that have even the tiniest bit of structure.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's pretty much it for that one.
I mean, these series haven't been close. Not even the games, really.
Real quick, I just looked up the advanced stats from that game 1, Cleveland and Miami. Tyler Hero alone had 12. There were 12 for 16 just on Tyler Hero.
That's insanity.
Yeah, 12 for 16. They shot 75% from the field when he's guarding them. So it's basically an automatic bucket. And then Khalil Ware, he was they were 8 for 13 when he was guarding them. So 61% from the field when he's being guarded. They put 29 points just on Tyler Hero's head, and probably 20 of them were Jerome.
Probably the least athletic player on the court, like 90% of the time.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
They had no answer for Hunter the whole series either.
Right. Okay, let's go to Knicks Pistons.
Okay.
I picked the Pistons in this one. Knicks are up 2-1. What are your thoughts? Where do you want to start with your thoughts?
I'm very impressed with Detroit.
Okay.
Like, they've lost. That first game was kind of what I expected.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, like, they really battled the whole time.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of a lack of any sort of execution.
Yeah.
And I said it going into the series, like, the Knicks were full of guys who had been in those situations.
Mm-hmm.
In Detroit, all the guys that had experience played well.
Yeah.
But it was just the new guys that needed an extra game to adjust, and then they tied the series after that. I thought Detroit would struggle to score a little bit more.
Mm.
And I think again, I think I underestimated their ability to like play to different guys. A lot of it goes through Cade, but the stuff they run is not just
Mm-hmm.
for him.
Now, did you expect that more because of you were confident in Knicks defense, or you just weren't as confident in the Pistons offense? Like you said, you just thought it would be too much Cade,
Yeah, I
like
thought they
Cade
would
Ford.
kind of do the, go the lazy route of kind of attack whatever mismatches they could find.
Mm-hmm.
And the Knicks would have just like handled that really well, I thought.
Yeah.
But they really haven't
Yeah.
been doing that. They've been taking advantage of transition. They've been taking advantage of the Knicks' bad offense. They've been doing a good job taking care of the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I guess you could say I'm disappointed in the Knicks, but Detroit, this is new for them.
Yeah.
So all credit to them for competing in the series so far. And like to me, the Knicks are up 2-1, but it's anybody's series right now.
Yeah. I mean, the last two games were decided by 6 or less. Last game only decided by
Typical
2.
Knicks.
Yeah. The Knicks don't look good in the series to me. I think Brunson has to take over. Like what you thought about the Pistons is what I was hoping the Knicks didn't do, but they kind of still are. Like, okay, Brunson still takes 30 shots, 20, 25 shots. Cat takes his helping the shots, and everyone else is just kind of standing around waiting for an opportunity. And it just so happens that it's working on the Pistons, but it's kind of weird because it almost feels like looking past this series, I would have more confidence in the Pistons in a second round than I would in the Knicks, just because of how they're playing. Because of the Pistons are playing through other guys and it's not beating the Knicks, but the Knicks are still basically only playing through Brunson and it is beating the Pistons. But I don't think it would beat any other team in the East. At least not a team that would be in the second round.
I see why I feel like that's extreme. Because
No,
like
you think it's extreme?
because based on how they're playing, I see why you're saying that. But it's
Yeah.
I don't trust Detroit to do what they're doing against somebody else. Because again, it's a lot of it has been taking advantage of what the Knicks have been struggling with, which is just not running sets. They're feeding Brunson. Brunson's playing to the refs. I mean, again, you really you lost one game, and Karl Anthony Towns in the second half just said like, I don't want to shoot anymore for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of the series, the other 10 quarters, he's been dominant, and you've handled the series pretty much.
Yeah, Towns is the one variable that I don't think any team is going to be ready for.
It's just the Knicks are proving their talent to me, but they're lacking the chemistry I thought they'd have.
Yes. And I think the Pistons do have chemistry. They just don't have, like you said, they don't really have the talent that the Knicks do, but they definitely have chemistry. But I agree, the Knicks' chemistry is just not there to me. It's still, I mean, I joked with you off air, but Bridges kind of does those where, yeah, Bridges has 20, but I don't remember a single play that Bridges had that was impactful.
Yeah.
Hart has basically like gets phased out of the game mid-game a lot of games. And then they kind of rely on OG having a good shooting night outside of that, which isn't that reliable. And Hart can do way more than what he does for them on a nightly basis. At least in this series, he has.
They whether they play, 8 guys, their depth sucks, or they play 10, 11 guys, their depth sucks, and it's only on offense. Mm-hmm. It's only on offense. And it's because they don't.
It is, yeah.
They don't like spread the ball around.
Yeah.
I'm not asking, whoever comes in, let's say Shamet, who came in the first game, haven't really seen him since.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to take shots, but him not touching the ball at all, Like waiting
Yeah.
for Brunson to create something for Shamet, like that's liable not to happen.
Right. And Shamet is a
So
good pick and roll player.
yeah, and you kind of living and dying by like Brunson carrying the roster when this isn't a roster that needs to be carried. This isn't the Denver with Jokic. Like, why
Yeah.
you could feed guys? You have multiple guys you could feed in the post. You have multiple guys you could run like shooter screens for. And
Yeah.
you just, and it's like way too much Brunson. It's not Brunson and
It is.
Cat. I could live with it being two guys,
Yeah.
but it's always way too much Brunson.
Right.
So I'm confused by what Thibs is trying to like figure out.
Yeah, I mean, and there's creative ways they could use some of the guys. Like you mentioned, they got guys who could post up. Like when Beasley is guarding Hart, Hart should take him in the post every time.
Yeah.
Hart's a good post up player. Like, I mean, I'm not saying that's like your game plan, but I'm saying those are like the small things that I feel like they're missing by just letting Brunson just go one on one, or
And I didn't
Brunson
I
just pick and
thought
roll.
Detroit would be missing that.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's been disappointing.
Yeah, I agree. Who did you have winning this one? Knicks in 6?
I thought the Knicks would handle this in a sweep.
Really?
Yeah, because again, I counted on Detroit's inexperience and the Knicks' experience.
Yeah. Right.
And it's kind of been New York has kind of like done the Boston thing of just like we're gonna out talent you, and that'll just be just enough in every game.
Yeah, and hopefully that outscores you too. Because even on defense, they're giving up way too many threes for the Pistons, who are a really good 3-point shooting team.
Like
Beasley
good
led
looks.
the league in threes this year.
Guys are getting such good shots for Detroit.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So you got predictions moving forward? It's 2-1. How's it going to end up? Is it going to 6 or no?
Yeah. I think it's going to be Knicks in 6.
Knicks in 6? Okay.
I think Detroit ties his next. Detroit ties it up, and then Knicks assert themselves and win 2 in a row, kind of like they did in Game 3.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. All right. Let's go. Let's stay on the East. Let's do Pacers and Bucks. The 4-5. How are you feeling?
I don't know where to start here.
You want me to start?
Yeah, give me your thoughts. What do you think about this one?
Obviously the first game with no Dame, second game with Dame just coming back. And Pacers looked good in both of those, but I think those are hard to really like recap because the Pacers just had their way those times. They run the floor. The Bucks weren't really getting back. The Bucks were struggling to find anyone else on the team that was going to score the basketball or at least be a threat. But in this last game, and even a little bit of game 2, the Bucks are being more aggressive with the quick shots that they have. Like in game 1, the same shots that Gary Trent was catching and shooting in like less than a second in game 3, he wasn't shooting at all in game 1. Like he just wasn't pulling the trigger. He wasn't being aggressive. Whatever the reasoning was, but I think that over the course of the series so far, game 2, game 3, the other players are being more aggressive. They're looking to take shots, and I think it's the momentum is swinging. I do. I mean, the Pacers won that second game, but I think in that game there was a sense of momentum the Bucks were gaining in the series.
See, I couldn't disagree more.
They were dominant in game 3. It really wasn't close.
I couldn't disagree more. I think my series perspective is almost completely different. I'm waiting for this series has been all Indiana basketball. It's been really fast, quick shots,
Yes.
not a lot of defense. The team that has the most energy wins.
Facts.
And to me,
hold on, wait. Before you say anything else,
ahead.
What is Milwaukee Bucks basketball?
Well, it's Giannis, and that's the problem.
Right. Yeah.
This depth has been falling apart all season.
Yeah, it has.
Their trade moves made their depth worse.
Taurean Prince started, and now he's like unplayable. He played 3 minutes yesterday. He started
Kyle Kuzma has been disgustingly bad.
Yeah.
Like, it hurts my eyes, bro. Like, what are you? Go home if you're gonna play like this.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Again, the Bucks' depth has been falling apart all season. You get in the playoffs, you match up with a team you played last year. First of all, big picture Indiana, you're not beating them if you're not at full health.
That's a fact.
That is
because they have way too much depth.
They have been dominating every series that the other team is not at full health. They are obliterating you.
That's why I didn't even talk about game one. It's like nothing to talk about. Without Dame, they had zero chance.
Right. And you mentioned like they're not really getting back. On Indiana, you really can't get back. Like, they're just too fast. They got 9 guys who running and 1 point guard who makes great, look ahead passes.
Yeah.
I mean, Halliburton gets like 8 assists just looking ahead a lot of the time.
And it's like 6 of them are to Obi Toppin every night.
Yeah, he's the fastest one.
Yeah.
But again, like, I'm waiting for you, Milwaukee. Like, we have to be able to do something to take Indiana out their game.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like Giannis being unstoppably great. But what kills me is like Giannis is so unstoppable, and you're not utilizing that to open up the game for anybody else.
Until game 3. They did in game 3.
See, I didn't see that. I thought the Bucks played Indiana basketball better than Indiana for one fucking day.
Oh, well, that's possible.
Because
that's possible.
Indiana is like so fast that they end up being volatile a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Especially when shots aren't falling, you're taking transition threes. It looks bad.
Mm-hmm.
There'll be some other teams we talk about taking transition threes.
Mm-hmm.
But again, with the Bucks, it's like you're playing Indiana. We're 3 games in, you're still playing Indiana basketball, and you beat them playing Indiana basketball once. Like, Gary Trent is going to score maybe half of what he scored this last game.
That's facts, yeah.
And he could get you would not be surprised at all if he had 0.
I'd be surprised if he had 0. But if he had less than 10, I won't be surprised. 7, I won't be surprised.
And it's like Dame comes back. Has Dame gotten an easy shot?
No, not at all.
Pascal Siakam is only taking good looks.
Mm-hmm.
And he's been great, like, I think because of that.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it's just like, I don't want to hate on Doc too much because maybe you're right. Maybe there's some momentum shift here that I'm missing.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, I've watched 3 Indiana Pacers basketball games, and just Milwaukee outshot them once. Like, I don't believe in that.
That's fair. That's fair.
That's why this game 4 is crucial to me. Like, it's going to be must watch because there has to be something to the Bucks besides Giannis getting 40 and Dame hopefully being lights out.
Yeah.
Like, I can't trust Gary Trent getting 30. I can't trust AJ Green hitting a bunch of threes. Like, that's random.
AJ Green.
You still, bro, your front court can't guard Tyrese Halliburton, who has no bag.
I was going to say, this series has to be the end of Brook Lopez as a Milwaukee.
Done, bro. I'm done with him as a starter.
Yes. Yeah. Like you can't start Brook Lopez in series like this ever again. It's just like every switch is just an easy bucket. Brook
It's
Lopez.
so
If Brook
easy.
Lopez
Why
is guarding
guys
this,
who
easy
don't
bucket.
go get their own baskets?
Yep. Yeah.
This has been a frustrating series because again, I knew the Bucks would lose, but I haven't seen this. Doesn't look like a competitive series to me yet.
That's fair. That's fair. I'm giving them a little more credit, but I can
hope
get
you're
with that
right.
for sure. Let's go to. Do you want to talk Clippers Nuggets? Even though we'll probably miss one of them, miss Game 4.
We could talk about it.
Okay.
I'm curious. How do you think the series turns out? With what you've seen?
I think the Nuggets win one more, and that's it.
I'll tell you what. Since I've been the Nuggets stan on the show, they lost me this series. I don't think they're winning another game.
Why do you say that?
I mean, they haven't played deep. We're 3 games in. I haven't seen defense yet.
At all.
Like
They just
none.
got lucky. They got lucky in the first game that the Clippers just sold. They
just
gave it away.
throwing the ball away, like just dumb passes.
Yeah.
And the Clippers
Jokic,
settle a little too much.
You said they settle too much?
Yeah, like you could get layups anytime you want, and we're just like taking the threes because they're so easy.
Oh, the Clippers were settling too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. The you remember when Jokic won the second MVP and like that year he was leading the league in layups allowed?
Yeah.
Like this series, he has to have a record for layups allowed this series. There's no way there's ever been a center that's let more layups get to the basket than Jokic has this series.
Bro, he's not even trying.
No, he actually just gets out of their way.
And what kills me is, to me, if you are dictating everything offensively, like I mean everything. I don't mean most of the shit. I mean everything.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a lot of work. Okay, we could talk like we can figure something out if you're running my whole offense and making everything happen. Bro, he's been struggling to score on Zubac. I don't know if anybody's noticed this. Like, I don't know if Zubac is finally. It took a while. He's been, playing him better and better over the years. But to me, Zubac is outplaying him in the series.
He is.
I know the stats obviously don't reflect that because one guy's running the whole show and the other guy's the 3rd to 5th best player.
Yeah.
But that's all the more point to what the Nuggets are completely fucked.
Mm-hmm.
They can't sustain anything they do because it's all centered around Jokic. None of their role players have. Jamal is getting fucking clamped up. I don't know what he's doing. Aaron Gordon is like hanging out on the perimeter all the time. I mean, Michael Porter Jr., what the fuck is he doing?
He's just disappeared.
I mean, Russ gave them a game. Like, what more can you ask of Russ?
He's done his best.
That's what I'm saying. It's like it's Jokic and a little bit of like Christian Braun and fucking Peyton Watson energy. Like, what am I supposed to do with that?
Yeah,
it's so fucking gross.
Why do you think they're playing bad though? Like, do you think that do you buy into them having a depth issue? Like, I've heard that a lot from the people who really like the Nuggets, and I think that that's kind of BS at this point because the depth, they've only lost like one guy.
I mean, their rotation is 8 deep, 9 deep.
Yeah.
And like, name me, how many impact players do they have? 7? Like the one guard that checks in, he's out there for no reason. He's out there because we don't have any other guards, and Jamal can't play 48.
That's Pickett you're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah.
Come on. He's been getting cooked out there. He's fucking doing nothing.
Yeah.
I mean,
he really is
Peyton
just
Watson just to get
the other
fucking
guys a blow.
It's just bad, bro. The problem is their depth has like slightly regressed for multiple years.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't start off great. It wasn't like 2 years ago their depth was awesome.
Yeah.
But it's just gotten worse.
Yeah.
And now it's like Jokic is you could say whatever. Maybe he ran out of gas. Maybe Zubac figured him out. Maybe they've just figured the Nuggets out.
Yeah, I think that they just aren't really afraid of anyone on the Nuggets. And it does kind of make it easy. I think last year, the Timberwolves really put the whole league on notice of like, you don't have to fear the Nuggets anymore.
Yep.
And the Clippers, I mean, you got guys who just will compete with anybody on the Clippers. Like, even the guys that aren't necessarily fantastic players, Norman Powell is going to compete with anyone you put out there. Derrick Jones Jr. is going to compete with anybody you put out there. Zubac, everyone on the Clippers they're competitive. And the Nuggets, a lot of their guys are used to trying to be really smooth. They don't have a whole lot of dogs on the team. And then, you have the guys who are so volatile where, like, they could have a great game or they could just honestly just give the other team a game for free with Murray and Westbrook. Those being your two best guards. Tough.
I just, like, at a certain point, and I've given Jokic a pass for years. Like I said, when he ran everything, when he could score 40 and give me 15 assists, all right.
Yeah.
He can't give me 40 right now. He's struggling to put up 25. Like, the assist, hitting the cutters is cool, but if you can't score, can't outplay your matchup, we're not good enough.
Yeah, and you got to give just effort on defense. You don't have to be the best defensive player on the team. Just effort.
I'll give you an example.
He gives no effort.
Luka last night. Luka was sick as hell, was still trying to guard, still made defensive plays a few times. Like, Jokic hasn't even made plays.
He does give energy on defense a lot of times. Like, he's one of those guys where, like, if he's not playing well, the game's out of control, he's going to do something on defense. Something.
You see him trying. Like, Jokic, these 3 games, it's, like, so fucking obvious. Like, a guy goes for a layup, he's not contesting it. Like even, like, Chris Dunn? We can't contest Chris Dunn?
Nope.
Bro, it's just layup lines. It's insane.
Yeah. So you got Clippers 4-1?
Yes.
Okay.
I picked Nuggets in 7, but I didn't think they'd just try to outshoot the Clippers.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing is, it's like, now that Jokic isn't unstoppable scoring, you to your point, like, you could switch. The Clippers don't fear switching now.
They don't.
And that's kind of been the Nuggets have obliterated teams switching on them.
Mm-hmm.
And now that
they really have that guard Jokic.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they have a good switching team.
Like,
all right.
After this series, we will deep dive the Clippers a little bit more, like specifically previewing. They're probably going to be playing OKC, which will be really tough for them.
Yeah, right. Let's go to the Rockets and Warriors. Another game that's tonight that we probably won't see, but we've seen 1-1 so far. Do you want to comment on that, or you want to save that until we watch 3 games?
Well, we could talk about the first 2.
Okay. The Jimmy Butler injury was really big in the second game.
Yeah, and if he's missing time, he's doubtful for this tonight. I don't know if he's good or not tonight.
Game time decision instead.
Oof. So let's assume he misses tonight, or if he plays, he's like limited.
Yeah. That's
a tough blow for the Warriors.
It is, yeah.
Because to me, like, these first two games have been exactly how I thought the series would go.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I really didn't. I thought the Rockets maybe would dominate the first game and then Golden State would tie it up, but it's been opposite.
Yeah.
But the Rockets, like, you see them the second game, you saw them because to me they didn't really play that well.
Mm-hmm.
But you saw them attempt to impose like the fact that their roster's better, their roster's more athletic, their roster's bigger, their roster's younger, and they have a better overall chemistry.
They do.
That to me is like now, if Jimmy misses today, and like, you know, he's potentially limited for one more game, like it's so tough for the Warriors to survive that because their depth sucks.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this second game was depressing for a guy we've been waiting to get some fucking playing time. Kuminga. He fucking sucked.
Yeah.
I was literally like within minutes of seeing Jimmy get hurt, I'm like, it's Kuminga's time. Like, there's Steve. There's no, like, he has to play. He just has to.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sick and tired of seeing Moses Moody do nothing out there.
Eat facts.
But he put Kuminga out there, and he stuck out like a sore thumb the whole time.
He did. He looked like he wasn't expecting to play.
And it's just, how many chances is he going to get and, like, not capitalize on?
I don't know. It's tough.
Like, bro, this whole, like, I got to, like, play to get good. Like, no, bro, you need to find a way to contribute.
Yeah, especially with his athleticism. And that's the thing, to your point. They went out, Houston went out and showed that they're so much bigger and better than the rest of this roster. You saw the Houston players go at all the role guys for Golden State. You put Guy Santos in, Tari Eason is taking him to the rack every single time. You put they tried to use Moody at the 4 for a little while, and Jabari Smith just started like giving him buckets, and like it was just like, okay, our others are better than all your others. Yeah, Steph's the best player in this series. Şengün and Draymond is a pretty good matchup because Draymond's the best defender, Şengün's the best big. But outside of that, all our guys are better than everybody else. And every time they cycle in those, the Spencer, Quentin Post, Gary Payton II, who's a good defender, but the Houston guys were going at everybody that doesn't start for Golden State. Everybody whose name doesn't end with Curry for Golden State.
Like, now that I'm thinking, I'm listening to you saying it, I'm thinking about the two rosters side by side. Bro, after Steph, Draymond, and Jimmy, obviously, Tariq Easton would be the best player on the team for the Warriors.
Yeah, and he comes off the bench.
And he's
comes off the bench.
He's like the 8th guy for the Rockets. Like, it's not even close.
Bro, Cam Whitmore isn't even playing, and he'd probably be the best backup guard on the Warriors.
Exactly, bro. That's why I've been frustrated with the Warriors all season. The margin for error for Steph is none. Like, none. Either be nuclear or we can't survive with really anybody that's good.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, the Bucks are having some of these issues where it's like you can't just be good because your best player is unstoppable. There needs to be something beyond that.
Yeah, and then Jimmy Butler is probably their best overall athlete. I mean, you got Kuminga, who's a freak, but Jimmy being able to be, fast, slow, strong, he has all the different aspects of basketball athleticism. Losing him, and you have these guys, these thoroughbreds, Thompson, Green, Jabari Smith, and Eason, and even Whitmore, who really didn't get minutes. But you have all these guys that, like Buddy Hield, who's a good player, he just can't keep up with them.
Yeah.
It's just too much. Yeah. So,
and again, Şengün hasn't really
does
played
make it
well.
really, really, really tough. Who?
Sengun is like he kind of dominated the first game, but to me, he hasn't like played well overall.
No, he hasn't. He hasn't. He hasn't had a real breakout game in this. Not yet.
And I think it's coming. And the Warriors, I
All
just
right.
don't know what the answer is.
2 more series. You know what the answer could be? To what?
To potentially Sengun playing way better.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know either. Because they spread the floor well. It's just I think Draymond might have studied up on Sengun because they're really trying to cut that off and trying to make sure the playmaking doesn't come from it.
Yeah.
Trying to make him score off jump shots and out of the paint. No hook shots, no dunks, and no playmaking, no give and goes and stuff like that. Draymond's doing a good job. I mean, Draymond, he didn't win Defensive Player of the Year, but this is a series where if he had won, I would watch the series and I would understand. I understand why he's a finalist based off the series, I should say.
I don't think either. I'm not sure if anybody's winning 2 in a row for this series.
That's possible, especially with this injury.
Yeah.
Or with any injury, because really, even though we're talking up the Rockets roster, if any of their starters get injured, they're in trouble.
Yeah, because especially defensively.
A lot of their chemistry relies on their starters.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's go. So both these games will be tomorrow. Let's go Celtics Magic. Magic win game 3.
Yes, very hard fought game.
Yeah. They lost game 2 in a game that Tatum didn't even play.
Yeah.
And they lost. And the game that Tatum comes back, they catch a dub.
No Drew Holiday in this third game.
You know that the Celtics are only playing 8 guys.
Yeah.
And the Magic player are playing 10 tonight. 10 or 11. So what do you think? The first 2 games were pretty self-explanatory, I think. What do you think of game 3?
I mean, Boston and their turnovers come rear their ugly head.
Yeah.
But I think Orlando is like
Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. Mm-hmm.
To me, Boston is coasting, and Orlando is trying to like establish themselves.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is Orlando is so bad when it comes to playmaking. Like, as far as the playoffs go, they probably have the least amount of just like playmakers.
Mm-hmm.
And they by default make Franz and Paolo like the distributors. And it looks awful. I mean,
yeah, it does.
The commentators every game are like, "Oh, why is KCP ass? Who's getting him the ball?" Like,
sometimes Banchero just looks like a wrecking ball. Like he just goes into the paint, just runs somebody over.
Yeah, he's just like, I'm shooting on this one. Like that's it.
Yeah, it's really, really bad. They're in such a desperate need for a point guard. It's disgusting.
And again, I want to believe in Orlando a little bit more, but they just can't sustain anything offensively.
See, and keyword offensively there, because I do think they can sustain their defense, but I just don't know if that's going to be enough. In game 3, Tatum and Brown alone had the same amount of turnovers the entire Orlando Magic team had. The entire team.
Oh, man.
Only Tatum and Brown.
Tatum started cooking. This game was so funny because Tatum started cooking and, like, completely forgot that taking care of the basketball is more important than him trying to cook. it was like such a perfect example of why Tatum doesn't get the respect he wants.
Yes. Yeah.
But the problem with Boston, to your point, like they have a lot of guys who can play well in spite of good defense.
Mm-hmm.
Like Porzingis hasn't played well yet. That's gonna happen. Derek White hasn't really taken a lot of shots yet. That's gonna happen. I mean, the game 2 that Tatum didn't play, they couldn't stop Jaylen Brown at all.
Right.
Jaylen Brown was shot like 70%.
Mm-hmm.
Which is like, I can forgive your turnovers if you're going to be that efficient scoring the ball.
Yeah.
And that to me is like Orlando is trying. There are elements that's like, I think they can compete defensively. But they don't have anybody as good as Derek White as a role player.
Right.
They don't have anybody as easy as it is to get shots as a guy like Porzingis.
Yeah.
Like I think Wendell Carter has had a great series, and it's like he's not really doing a lot. Like he's not that good. I don't know what more I could ask for him except hustle and strong finishes.
Yeah, and like he hits a random jump shot here and there. Like, whoa, that was their center.
Like I think he's like a power forward that they just committed to center for some reason. Even I think Chicago before that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think he played with someone else in Chicago that like was a really true power forward, so he had to play center or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right.
And like beyond even missing a point guard, I think it would really help if the other Wagner brother was playing.
Yeah, I agree. He has a higher level of basketball IQ than most of the other players on the team. So he normally is a really good passer. He kind of plays a little bit of that Powell kind of game, high post. He sees guys cutting really well. He's a better shooter than Wendell Carter, I would think. So he kind of spreads the floor better for them all around. And he's more of a dog too than most other guys they got. Like
they've also
fight in the
Orlando
game.
has done a good job of like fouling. That's not something I normally say, but like like using fouls to stop scores.
Yeah.
And Wagner was really good at that, especially as a backup big. Like you have the luxury of doing that some of the time.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Batatse, he is not good at fouling. All his fouls look like they should be reviewed. Like all of them. And I don't think he's a dirty player, but like his fouls are just really reckless fouls. Like, like he hits guys on the neck in the air. Like, bro, what are you?
He's clumsy as hell. I'm not a big fan.
Yeah, they're bad. His fouls are really, really bad. So, you think Orlando wins any more games or no?
No.
I'll give them one more. I think they win one more. I'll give them one more. Okay, last series. Lakers and Timberwolves.
Man.
No, do you remember who you picked in this?
Lake Show. 5 or 6?
Okay. I genuinely don't remember who I picked.
I want to say I picked them in 6.
I think I did Lakers in 5, to be honest. I think I pulled a Shannon Sharp on that. Well, maybe I don't want to pull a Shannon Sharp right now. But I think I did pick Lakers in 5. But I'm not surprised by this at all. You're not either, right?
No.
But why? We both picked Lakers. Why aren't we surprised?
I feel like I already hated on the Bucks, even though they got a nice win. And I feel like it's unfair to hate on a team that's winning this series.
Yeah.
But, oh my God, the Wolves look awful. And to me, I love how honest Anthony Edwards is.
Yeah.
He was honest about it after game 3. Jaden McDaniels is the reason we're winning this series.
Yeah.
The 2 games they won, he's been incredible on both ends.
Yeah.
To me, again, Minnesota their offense is disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
Dante DiVincenzo went from a career year to completely fucking useless. And this team it doesn't have depth.
Yeah.
Chris Finch doesn't know how to manage fouls. This team has no situational awareness. They're winning a series, and Anthony Edwards and Julius Randle have no chemistry.
Yeah.
This is a prime example of like talent can get you pretty fucking far.
Mm-hmm.
Because to me, talent is the reason they have a slight edge in the series right now.
You think they're the more talented team?
Their talent has played overall better.
Oh, okay, that's better. Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
To me, like I don't know how Anthony Edwards looks clueless when there's a double team. How?
Yeah, he still hasn't figured that out. You know, the Minnesota players have shown so much maturity and so much playoff pedigree in this series that they could have only really gotten from 1 year, which is like super impressive. I mean, Randall's been in the playoffs. Randall is like, he's a winner. I mean, he's a loser, but he's also a winner. Like, Randall is going to try to win every game. He knows how to play at a playoff level. But the Jaden McDaniels, for him to come and like destroy Dorian Finney-Smith like he has been, like Dorian Finney, like they're the same archetype of player, 3-and-D, and Jaden McDaniels like twice the player he is after 1 year of playoff experience. And Dorian Finney-Smith, I don't think he's been in the playoffs like a whole lot, but he's been on really good teams pretty much his whole career. And like, it's like no comparison.
I thought the Lakers were like, every time the Lakers were taking control of this last game, it was Jaden McDaniels saying absolutely not.
Yes.
And to be honest, game one was largely similar.
It was. And, you know, one other thing that's good about that I respect, I won't say it's good because the depth obviously is not good. I've been saying it for the last 2 years about Minnesota. Their depth is horrible. But one thing that is good about the depth that they do have, this short 3-4 guys they bring off the bench, they're like, they come in immediately ready to hit a big shot. And the Lakers really don't have anybody on their bench like that. I mean, maybe Connect, maybe, but he really hasn't been proven in like a competition like this.
JJ hasn't played him.
Gabe Vincent, I've given up on Gabe Vincent at this point. And Dorian Finney-Smith would be the only other one. But like Nickeil Alexander-Walker could come in the fourth quarter with 10 seconds left and win the game and hit one shot. He didn't play the whole game. You need him to hit one shot. He could come in and do it. The Lakers don't have anybody like that on their bench. And I think that has helped Minnesota because no matter who has the momentum in the game, these guys come in and like it's almost like they already have they catch on to whatever's going on to the game so quicker than most other guys. Maybe that is because they have a low maybe it is because they don't have a lot of depth, so they've gotten a lot of play or a lot of, you know, game experience with the starters and stuff.
Yeah.
But I've noticed that with the Lakers, when they're bringing in a sub, like Gabe Vincent needs like 3 or 4 minutes to like adjust to what's going on. Like, you knew you were coming in the game. What's the problem? Same thing with Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt like is spinning around in circles for
Vanderbilt did not have a good. I don't know what the fuck he was doing this last game.
Yeah, like he comes in just spinning around in circles, like he doesn't know who he's checking, and then like it takes 4 or 5 minutes, and like, oh yeah, Vanderbilt's been out there for the last 5 minutes. But the Timberwolves, like Naz Reid comes in right away, can go on a 3 possession run by himself, like immediately when he checks into the game. And so can Alexander Walker. And even though DiVincenzo's been playing really bad, he comes in and he does come in aggressive every game. So I think that's one thing that's really been helping the Timberwolves. I don't really know what the word is for it, but these guys are ready, like really ready to make impact on the game as soon as they come into the game.
And that's why, their talent is so solid, especially their top 7, that I want to believe in them winning the series. They're up 2-1. Like, they should be the favorite at this point. And as a certified hater, they lose this last game if Luka feels it doesn't have a fucking stomach bug.
Facts.
Like, I don't know anybody who disagree with that. Because
LeBron had 38. LeBron was dominant.
LeBron, I don't know. Did you see the whole fourth quarter? He was like making the heat checks, and then he fumbled the 4th in a row, and then completely ran out of gas after that.
Yeah.
I thought that was hilarious. But
I wonder how many games.
It goes to what you were talking about with focus.
Yeah.
Like, the Lakers guys kind of feed off of that. Like, sometimes LeBron's unstoppable. Other times LeBron's like forcing us to get involved. Jaden McDaniels knows if I'm getting the ball, I got to go get it. Alexander Walker, same thing. And Naz Reid, same thing. DiVincenzo's been trying. He hasn't acclimated to that yet. Yeah.
This is a tough series for DiVincenzo because he really can't get by anybody on LA.
No.
They're just better. They're better defenders than he is an offensive threat.
And where I did predict something, the Wolves match up really well. That's kind of the core of why they could be a good defensive team. And so far, they haven't been overwhelmingly better at matching up, but they've been better. But these next couple games, they gotta be able to rotate. They can't just pick up correctly. They gotta be able to rotate. They gotta stay focused to not let Mike Conley pick up the fucking elite scorers all the time.
Yeah.
That to me is are we gonna see them improve as a unit on either end? I haven't really seen them look like a unit on either end. Because that to me is if they really make some strides, they could win the series.
Yeah, they could.
But I don't believe in them yet.
Yeah, I believe in LeBron and Luka over them. LeBron could easily win 3 straight games.
Yes.
I shouldn't say easily, but nobody on earth would be surprised.
And it's the Lakers have shown that they're capable of slowing down Ant more off of the fact that Minnesota's offense is so bad. The Lakers have shown an ability to kind of take advantage of that.
Yeah, and I've noticed in both these games the fast break points have been limited to less than I would expect. I don't know the exact stat. I didn't look up the exact stat, but watching it, eye test, it doesn't seem like they're getting as many fast breaks, either team, as they would normally in a regular season game. It seems like both teams are kind of limiting turnovers, they're limiting long rebounds, and they're kind of slowing the game down.
Yeah. This series has been probably, New York and Detroit have been pretty close. Both the 3-6 matchups have been awesome this year.
They have, yeah.
Honestly,
overall, outside of the number 1 seed, 1 and 8, this has been the most competitive playoffs first round in a while to me.
I've actually
obviously beatdowns.
I've had a couple people tell me that they're surprised by the physicality jump. There's always obviously a switch from regular season to playoffs. But I didn't mention it earlier, but the Rockets are really trying to beat the shit out of Steph.
They are, yeah.
Orlando is trying to beat the shit out of anybody they can on Boston.
Did you see that compilation of the times Draymond threw somebody down in the last game? It was like 4 times that like Draymond did all this in one game.
That's where it's like Draymond is, a really physical player, and I trust him to match any one other player, maybe 2 other players. But if the Rockets are gonna match him as a roster, like, who does Draymond have? Jimmy? I mean, now his glutes fucked up. Like, now he doesn't have any backup.
Yeah, facts. Yeah. Quentin Post.
Hell no.
All right. That's it for us today. We'll be back probably in 2 more games to talk about what happens. We'll see what happens with these matchups that are 2-1. They may be over in 2 games. They may not be. But we will be back to talk about that and talk about NFL draft at some point. You got anything else?
No, a lot of drama with the draft.
Yeah,
a
lot of drama.
A lot of sports going on right now, though. Hockey's going crazy, fun playoffs. Tennis is going on. I saw Djokovic got upset in a tournament.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Baseball's getting going, so it's good. It's good sports time.
Baseball's picking up big right now. Finally, but yeah. All right. Thanks for listening. As always, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.